Bedtime Stories with the Story Club for Kids. Hello, children. It's time to wind up for the day and settle down for the night. I hope all of you have brushed your teeth and are ready for bed. Now, let's begin our first bedtime story for tonight. This is the story of Tenali Rama and the Racing Horse. One day, an Arabian horse trader came with a shipload of the finest Persian horses to Vijayanagara. The King Krishnadevaraya, who was an avid horse lover, bought many horses from the trader. All the courtiers too bought one horse each. All the while, Tenali Rama was quiet and disinterested. Seeing this, one of the courtiers asked, "Rama, why are you so silent? And wouldn't you also buy a horse?" "Vijayanagara horses are superior to these Persian horses," Rama remarked. The king and the rest of the courtiers were surprised to hear this. King Krishnadevaraya, the third ruler of the Tuluva dynasty, said, "How can you be so sure, Rama? Can you prove it?" "Certainly, Your Majesty," Rama replied. The king announced that there would be a horse race. A Vijayanagar horse was to be trained by Rama, and the Persian horses were to be trained by the rest of the courtiers. The race would determine which horse breed is superior. All the courtiers put in a lot of effort in training and feeding their horses. On the day of the race, the horses were lined up in the racetrack. Tenali brought his horse, which looked a little weak and tired already. Everyone laughed and said that Rama would lose the race. When it was time for the race, Rama announced he would ride the horse. He then took a long pole, to the edge of which he tied some grass. He sat up on the horse and held the pole in front of the horse so that it could see the grass but not reach for it. When the race started, all the horses ran swiftly. Rama dangled the grass in front of his horse. The hungry horse ran for the grass, but no matter how fast it ran, it could not get hold of the grass. The horse kept running as fast as it could and came first. Everyone was astonished by what had happened. The king asked Rama, "How did you make this happen?" Rama smiled and replied, "Your Majesty, the hunger to succeed is the only thing that can help anyone to succeed." The king understood what Rama had said. He meant that because the horse was so hungry that he wanted to succeed in reaching the grass, and that's why the horse ended up succeeding in winning the race. The king rewarded him for his intelligence. And what is the moral of the story? That if you really want to succeed, you have to have a strong determination for it. The end. And now, let us listen to our next story. This story is called Tenali Rama and the Cat. One day, King Krishnadevaraya was sitting in his court when he heard a commotion outside the palace gates. He commanded his guards to find out what was happening. A guard brought in a man who identified himself as the village head. The king asked him what the matter was. The man replied, saying that the village was infested with rats and that the rats were destroying the food grains and creating chaos. The man had come to ask the king for help. The king assured the village head by telling him that he would consult with his courtiers and find a solution to the problem. King Krishnadevaraya ordered his ministers to arrive at a solution for the rat problem. One of the ministers said that since cats eat rats, they could solve the rat menace by giving a cat to each household in the village. However, another minister inquired on how the poor villagers would manage to feed the cats. The same minister suggested that they could give the villagers a cow along with the cats so that the cats would be well fed. The king agreed to this solution and the villagers were provided with cats and cows. As the days passed, the villagers fed the cats milk and the cats became healthy and lazy. Tenali Rama observed this and felt that something is wrong with this solution. The next day, Tenali Rama placed a hot bowl of milk in front of one of the cats. As soon as the cat spotted the milk, it tried to drink it but ended up burning its tongue. The cat ran away and never touched milk again. The same cat then began to hunt, and the owner's house was rid of rats once and for all. One day, the king wanted to review the problem and ordered the villagers to get the cats to the court. The villagers complained that their cats hadn't been hunting cats and told the king that only one owner's cat had been hunting, thanks to Rama. The king asked the owner if they hadn't been feeding that cat milk, to which Rama replied that the cat refused to drink milk. Tenali Rama demonstrated the same in front of the king and then explained that he had placed a bowl of hot milk in front of it. The milk burnt his tongue, and since then the cat had stopped drinking milk. The king asked Tenali Rama why he had done so, to which Tenali Rama replied that the cats would only hunt the rats when they are hungry. Since they were drinking milk every day, the cats had become healthy and lazy, and so they did not have any urge to hunt. He explained that he had given the cat hot milk just in order to prove this point. The king understood the flaw in the plan and asked the ministers to find another solution to help solve the problem. He then rewarded Tenali Rama with gold coins for cracking this problem and finding a solution. The end. And now let's listen to the last story for tonight. This story is called Tenali Rama the Detective. Tenali Rama was once walking along a forest path when he was stopped by a merchant. "I am looking for my camel, which has strayed away. Did you see it passing by?" asked the merchant. "Had the camel hurt its leg?" asked Rama. "Oh yes, that means you have seen my camel," said the merchant. "Only its footprints. See, you can see footprints of an animal with 3 legs," said Rama, pointing out the footprints on the ground. "It was dragging the other leg because it was hurt in that leg." "Was it blind in one eye?" Tenali Rama asked the merchant. "Yes, yes," said the merchant eagerly. Was it loaded with wheat on one side and sugar on the other side? Asked Rama. Yes, you are right, said the merchant. So you have seen my camel, exclaimed the merchant. Tenali Rama looked upset. Did I say I saw your camel? You have given the exact description of my camel, said the merchant. I saw no camel, said Rama. Do you see those plants lined up on both sides of this path? You can clearly see some animal has eaten leaves of plants on the left, but the plants on the other side remain untouched. So the animal could see with only one eye. Look down. You can see ants lined up on this side, which means the animal was loaded with sugar on this side. The bag had a hole which allowed the sugar to fall off. You can see grains of wheat fallen on the other side. The bag on this side also must have holes in it, said Rama. I can see everything you showed me, protested the merchant. But I still don't see my camel. You follow this trail and soon you will catch up with your animal. After all, it is hurt in one leg and you seem to be hale and hearty, said Tenali Rama. The merchant took his advice and followed the trail left by the camel. And soon he caught up with his animal limping along. Rani! The merchant shouted in happiness as he called out to his camel and ran to her. And Tenali Rama smiled and walked along. The end. And that's all for tonight. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bedbugs bite. Bye bye, children.